President Donald Trump appeared to suggest Thursday that the U.S. will resume testing nuclear weapons for the first time in 3 decades, saying it would be on an equal basis with Russia and China. According to Associated Press, the Kremlin pointed out that a global ban on nuclear tests has remained in place, but warned that if any country resumes nuclear testing, Russia would follow suit. Russian President Vladimir Putin this week announced that Russia tested a new atomic-powered and nuclear-capable underwater drone and a new nuclear-powered cruise missile. Putin did not announce any tests of Russia's nuclear weapons, however, which last occurred in 1990. There was no indication the U.S. would start detonating warheads, but Trump offered few details about what seemed to be a significant shift in U.S. policy. He made the announcement on social media minutes before he met with Chinese leader Xi Jinping on Thursday in South Korea. When he spoke to reporters later aboard Air Force One as he flew back to Washington, he offered little clarity. The U.S. military already regularly tests its missiles that are capable of delivering a nuclear warhead, but it has not detonated the weapon since 1992.
U.S. President Donald Trump's comment that America could start testing nuclear weapons again could upend decades of American policy. America last tested a nuclear bomb back in 1992, and it stopped in part because of the nuclear weapons testing ban that went worldwide, and it saw basically every nuclear power stop its testing. Now, in the time since that ban went into place, we have seen nuclear tests by North Korea, India, and Pakistan. However, broadly speaking, the major powers had halted their tests. Experts warn that if America restarts its test, it could see China and Russia follow suit. Now, that's not to say that there hasn't been some push by Moscow over nuclear weapons. They have been threatening nuclear weapons use as their war in Ukraine has dragged on, and Moscow also has tested a nuclear-powered cruise missile in recent days as well. That's really raised concerns about nuclear proliferation in the wider world. The Chinese as well have dug more nuclear missile weapon silos in the desert, leading to concern that there could be a new race for warheads. Trump's comments really didn't dig into sort of who would do this, how this would be done, or any of those details. And already the Department of Energy has warned in the past that it would take a real monumental effort to restart testing at its facility out in Nevada, north of Las Vegas. So it remains unclear just sort of how this will move forward, but Trump's comments alone are really concerning to nuclear experts, and it remains to be seen what will happen next.
Russian President Vladimir Putin revealed new details about the Burevestnik cruise missile, saying its nuclear reactor is 1,000 times smaller than one on a submarine. According to Associated Press on Sunday, Russia's chief military officer, General Valery Gerasimov, reported to Putin that an October 21 test of the Burevestnik was a complete success that proved its capabilities. Putin repeatedly has brandished Russia's nuclear might since he sent troops into Ukraine in February 2022, declaring that Moscow was prepared to use all means to protect its security interests. He again turned to nuclear messaging now as Trump has put a planned summit in Budapest with Putin on hold and declared his first major sanctions against Russia. Speaking at a meeting with wounded soldiers, Putin again claimed that Ukrainian troops were encircled in Pokrovsk and Kupiansk and suggested that the Russian military was ready to open safe corridors for Ukrainian and Western journalists to let them see with their own eyes what's going on there. He indicated that Russia is open for a deal for the Ukrainian troops to surrender like they did in Mariupol in May 2022, saying that the media visit to the areas would allow reporters to see the condition of the encircled Ukrainian troops. We are only concerned about possible provocations from the Ukrainian side. We are ready to halt fighting for a certain period, for a few hours, so that groups of journalists could go there for 2 or 3 or 6 hours, speak to Ukrainian soldiers and leave, Putin said.
Это небольшая ядерная двигательная установка, она при сопоставимой мощности, скажем, с атомным реактором атомной подводной лодки в 1000 раз меньше, чем ядерный реактор на подводной лодке. В 1000 раз. Но самое-то главное даже не в этом. Самое главное в том, что если обычный ядерный реактор запускается в течение часов и дней, недель, то этот ядерный реактор запускается в течение минут и секунд. Даже самые наши перспективные ракеты межконтинентальные дамочки «Сармат». Но и в народном хозяйстве мы сможем это применять, сможем применять в будущем при решении проблемы энергообеспеченности в Арктике, в лунной программе будем использовать. И сейчас, даже сейчас уже радиационно защищенная электроника, используемая в ракете «Буревестник», уже используется в космических программах. Так что это прорыв не только в области повышения обороноспособности страны, но и в целом в науке, в народном хозяйстве в будущем. Вам тоже это важно, да? Вы там воюете на фронте, жизнью рискуете, и, конечно, в городе Купянске и городе Красноармейске противник оказался блокированным в окружении.
Подрастающее поколение.
Вы абсолютно правы. Они не против, Андрей Иванович, не против того, чтобы запустить в зоны окружения противника представителей средств массовой информации, иностранных журналистов и украинских журналистов, с тем, чтобы они зашли и своими глазами увидели, что там происходит, убедились бы в том состоянии, в котором находятся окруженные войска Украины, и с тем, чтобы политическое руководство Украины приняло соответствующие решения по судьбе своих граждан и своих военнослужащих, так как они это когда-то сделали в Азовстале. Главное в том, что если обычный ядерный реактор запускается, нас беспокоит только одно, чтобы с украинской стороны не было никаких провокаций. Мы готовы прекратить боевые действия на определенное время, на несколько часов, на 2, на 3, на 6 часов, с тем, чтобы группы журналистов могли зайти в эти населенные пункты, посмотреть, что там происходит, поговорить с украинскими военнослужащими и выйти.